Hey there and happy Monday. I had a great weekend away with fellow crafters, and it was just so fun to go through a couple of the crafting rooms while we were there and see the different things that ladies love doing. There were some quilters, some people just getting out their sewing machine to do a variety of different things, a lot of card makers, scrapbookers, and then crafty bookmakers like photo album bookmakers, and just all sorts of fun stuff going on at the crafting retreat. So I feel just kind of worn out uh, um, in staying up a little too late over the weekend, and just trying to have fun with everyone that was there. Hey there, Carol. Hi, Pam. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys too. So I'm kicking off a virtual stamp party for Deb King, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm gonna just get my my iPad going here so that I can set that down and see your guys' comments in case you have questions. And for Deb's virtual stamp party, I will be doing 3 projects, just one today and such. And so throughout the week, we'll get all 3 done. Hey there, Pam. Hi, Deb. Hi, Missy. So here we go. I'm actually copying this picture or this card for you guys because I saw a picture on Pinterest and I'm like, you know what? My people love trees, and I wanted to do at least one card of Deb's. Let me get my camera turned around. Hey there, Joyce. And I wanted to get at least one of the cards being a Christmas card for you guys, just to get some ideas, and that's always fun. Or for those of you that have already ordered, then you could have that. You know what? I had her host code right here, and I had it written out, and I wonder if it stuck to something. So sorry about that, but I will get her host code posted, Deb's host code posted to the still shot of the card too. So here we have it, front and center. So this is an idea that is inspired by Mary Fish, and I really didn't change up too much just because I really liked what she had to offer on her card. I did change some things up and then actually swapped back to this idea before I finished it up again, just because that's how it looked best and made most sense. Okay, so this is not a new set. So some of you might be going, yay, a great idea with Perfectly Plaid. So the Perfectly Plaid stamp set comes from the annual catalog here on page 93, and it's no longer a bundle exactly, but as far as bundling goes, it always there's not a bundle savings, but there is the pine tree that coordinates perfectly with all of the pine trees on the stamp set. And I just recently used the stamp set for you guys just based on the sentiments that were in there too. So great sentiments as part of Perfectly Plaid. My color combination today is going to be some reds, blacks, and whites. How traditional is that, and really fun to use. And my paper, my fun paper here, is coming from the party pattern, and it's a big stack of paper. So if you can kind of see all of these 48 sheets of paper, it is for hostesses only. So that's where this is coming from. And if you have something else that might be black and white, but I also like to show in the back of the catalog, the pattern party 12 by 12 paper is back here for hostesses like Deb, who's having her party right now, or anybody that has an order over $150. Then once your order reaches 150, either individually as a party, then you can kind of figure out your rewards there on page 170 and choose from things that are in there. And so I always want to be sure that I highlight that every once in a while, because it's something that sometimes can get overlooked way in the back, and it just is fun to pull out every once in a while. Let me grab a sip of water there before I get started. So I think before I get too far, there's a lot of die cutting on this today. So what I'm going to do is highlight all the different dies. I probably, you know, hindsight is always my best friend. I probably should have demoed this card before the die sale last week, where everything was 20% off. So I'm going to start with the set of rectangle stitch dies here. And I'm going to use 2. This is actually the largest stitched rectangle, and then this is just one of the many smaller ones in there. And so I will start with the big one, and actually my paper is 4 by 5 1/4, kind of just that layering size I use often for the insides of cards, as well as like the next layer on a card base and such. And so here we have that. So we have that nice stitched look around that rectangle shape. And yeah, not a lot left. I always have a stash of this cut for my insides of my cards, so that's why I grabbed that, and that's, since it was cut that way, that's why it's such a close fit. And then let me scoot this back here from that same set. I'm just going to cut out one of the rectangles, stitch rectangles there, like so. Yes, and Pam loves die cutting. So Pam's like, yay, die cutting. This one has a lot of die cutting. It almost scared me off. Like, is that going to be too much, too labor intense? But I think it's kind of fun. So those are the two from the rectangle. So I have that one next. I'm just going to set that aside. And then next I will get this ready and pull out my next set of dies, which are the stitched triangle dies, which I've really been having fun using and in the different layouts and such. And so for this one, I'm kind of using a different shaped one that I have been using kind of tree shapes lately. So in using this with that Hostess paper here, I'm just going to lay that on here like so and run that through. Then I just have a couple more, I promise. But I think this is why I loved this card, is just because of the extra stitch on there and the extra shapes that it really, really came together in a cute way. Now my last set of dies, layering circles framelits dies here. I'm just using one of the plain circles and one of the scallop circles. Hey there, Kay, thanks for sharing. I'm gonna see actually if I can get this to scoot through at the same time. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe if I stagger it, layer it, I don't know if that'll put a circle on there, but to save you guys time from watching me keep putting these things through, I'm just gonna try and do that and see what it does. And that's okay with me. So the end result is I have a black circle and a red scallop circle, and those turned out fantastic, and it really didn't do too much to that paper, maybe just a little edging of a scallop on there. So now we have all these little pieces, and then just after that's cut, there's not a lot to getting it put together. So let me pull out my Memento black pad. Hey there, Pam, good to see you. And it's a photopolymer stamp set, so I need my stamping mat here, and I'm going to use one of the pretty Christmas trees. This one kind of reminds me of those silver trees like my grandma had that were just like tinsely. That was the tree, and I'll just stamp that out in black here. And also I will open up my real red ink pad, and I'll go ahead and stamp that triangle that I cut out earlier, stitched triangle with the ho ho ho. Merry Christmas. Hey. All right, so we've got that here. I'm just going to stamp that out. So these are the two stamps that we need for the outside, and that's it. And this is already cut out with that. And so now I'm just going to go to my tree punch here and flip my tree punch over and line this up like so. Pop that out. And now it's time for the fun part, which is the assembly. So now we have all of these fun layers. I didn't want to pop up too many things just because I counted it. There's at least 5 layers, I think. So if we keep things flat, then we should be okay. So that big stitched rectangle here, I'm putting on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of thick white, because that's going to give the card base a nice sturdy base to it, scored this way. And so I have that on there. And then next I'm just going to take, oh, that's kind of a pretty backside, guys, with the floral. It looks like that crushed curry color. So that I'm just going to tape on, and then just by eyeing it, kind of give it that next 1/4 inch step up layer like so. And then I'm going to put these two pieces together, the basic black on the red, real red circle. Maybe I didn't say that, but so that is like so. And before I put my tree on, I want to decorate that little circle with the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. There's several neutral colors in there, including white. So I will just wrap this around my little circle. And actually, since it's like scallop, you can just kind of feed that into the scallops to hold it in place, which is really, really nice. And then I will take and cut this here and here. So now we have that kind of in the middle. Like I said, I cased this idea from Mary Fish. She's just so talented, and she had a bow, and I just kind of went, you know what? All the die cutting and everything, that was like, okay, kind of my limit. So I thought I'm just going to do a knot there because bows can kind of drive me insane. And then we put some dimensionals on here. I'm gonna just take those off here and kind of center that in the center of that triangle, keeping my line straight there. And now this tree is only going to need a couple of dimensionals to be popped up. So we are doing a double pop up on there. And I can just center that like so, and then flip over my ho 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 sentiment and add a couple more dimensionals there. So if you are like a classic red, white, black lover, this will be a favorite card of yours too. Center that at the top like there. And then as far as coloring, I could have colored, and I chose not to. Actually, I was going to do a red card base, and that just did not seem to work the way I wanted it to. And if I did that, a red card base, then I would have to also put another white layer in here for writing, and I think that would just make a really thick card for postage-wise. But what I am going to add is some red rhinestone basic jewels. So I'm going to put about 3 of those on here, kind of staggering back and forth up the tree. And that just adds such a simple look for a simple tree. And then I can just finish it with the inside sentiment. Let me pull back over my stamping mat. And this says, hoping that your busy year comes together in Christmas cheer. This also is from the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. There it is, just like so. Thank you so much. Thanks, Julie. And so that is card number 1. Let me get the camera turned around. For Deb King's virtual stamp party. So for those of you that have already ordered, you will be getting that card in the mail once all 3 are made up from me. And if you haven't ordered and want to order, you still can. I'll be posting her host code with this card too, and I'll be looking for the next couple cards from me soon. Thanks so much. Have a great night. Bye-bye.